I met her on a night that my attorney and I went to a restaurant down in Orlando, Bailey's. No, not Bailey's. It was Dexter's. And I was out in my car, and she walked out. She had just met some new friends. And why don't you tell that part?
Actually, I had met a girl named Marcia, and Bill and Marcia had worked together for the Orlando Symphony and photographed, what was it, Madame Butterfly?
Madame Butterfly. For an opera, yeah.
And so anyway, we chatted and all said, let's get together sometime. So we all exchanged phone numbers, thinking as a group we would get together. And so then Bill called me, and we started dating. And what, about a year before we were engaged?
Met January 17th. We were engaged February 26th.
So a little over a year.
In Africa, Well, after we were together about a year, we went to New York for a trip. We go on a lot of weekend trips. And we bought a ring, and she said, let me look. I said, forget it. She picked out the ring. I bought her jewelry, and it's not fun to buy women jewelry. I wanted her to pick it. Then I said, just don't ask me about it again. And I had it FedEx to me. That she didn't know this. Had it sized in FedEx. And then we were leaving for Africa. A client of mine called Renaissance Cruises had given me a free trip to Seychelles Islands, Kenya Safari, and Egypt. And I told her not to take any jewelry because it's dangerous. And I had it in my photography vest, which I hated. This, really nice ring is in my vest. And everywhere we went, I couldn't put it in a safe deposit box because she was sharing the safe deposit box. And she didn't know. She had a feeling. So we went ballooning over the Serengeti in the morning. Beautiful breakfast we landed in the jungle. I thought, that's it. That's where I'll ask. And when I got there, I feel like I'm doing all the talking. When I got there, the platform between us was this high. I could barely see her. We're both tall. The fire there was no shield to burn. We were like, our heads were burning. There was a little guy turning next to me and two Maasais for weight. And if I'd have knelt down, she wouldn't have seen me because we had a barrier between. And she told me later she thought I would ask her there, but I didn't. So I decided I was going to wait till the last minute in Egypt, which was my birthday in March. And the pyramid, the only one that's left, the only wonder of the world. But I couldn't wait. So when
we were in the Seychelles Islands, it was a little island called Ladigue, and it was just incredibly beautiful. And we had gotten bikes, and we were riding along, and of course Bill was taking photography, taking beautiful shots. And there was a palm tree that was cascading over the water, and there was a Parisian couple in the water, and he got them to come and pose and took some great photos and all, and then we left. And we probably had gotten about a mile away, and he said, honey, I didn't take your picture there. Let's go back. And I thought, boy, that's a long ways back, and it's hot, and you took a lot of pictures, and instead I said, okay, let's go back. Which is what I loved about her, that she was. So we went back.
And I made a decision like 10 steps before I said that. That was the most beautiful beach I've ever seen. Why don't I do it there?
So fortunately I said okay, because that was the place he decided that, to ask me to marry him. So we went back, and he positioned me on this palm tree, and I'm sitting there.
Set the camera up.
Had no clue, and the next thing I knew, he opened the box, and the sun was so bright, and the ring just glittered, it about blinded me.
Well, she said, because I kneel in front of her a lot to have her block the sun when I'm changing film, and she thought that's what I was doing.
I was just looking around, so it was really exciting.
And I remember what I told her. I said, at the most beautiful beach in the world, I'm going to ask the most beautiful woman in the world to marry me.
That was sweet. That was very sweet.
That's what we did. I couldn't wait any longer. I was so tired of carrying that ring and stuff. Then we had met most of the people on the cruise. It's only 104 people on that cruise. So that night we got dressed up for dinner, and I said, I'm going to tell our table. And she goes, no, I said, I'm going to tell everybody. Because we got to know each other pretty well. And it was real noisy in there, and I thought, I better not. But I tapped my glass with a fork, and the place got silent. I stood up, and then I told them that, and then Larry, a friend of ours, said, what did she say? But anyway, we made their trip. Everybody said that was the best part of the trip. They sent champagne to our room, and it was kind of a romantic thing for them to see.
Probably the toughest part is combining two households, both being very independent people also. That's probably been the toughest part, and also fun, because we're trying now to accumulate things together. So it's a little...
My problem is I've always traveled and brought things back from trips. So if you look at the house, it's full of things that mean something to me. And now we're trying to do it together and buy stuff. And it's real tough because we both have, strong opinions about it, but we're getting there. As long as we do it together, I like it. It's just, I sometimes come back from trips and see some changes made, and what happened to my favorite whatever, So we
Not being able to find anything. And we entertain a lot, so we're both outgoing and fun-loving, and it's really been delightful.
And the boys add so much to my life. I never knew that I would ever want to be a father like that. And I've told her recently, I said, I love them more than I thought I would. I always thought I'd be a loving stepfather, but they're my boys now. Their dad is a big part of their life, and I want them to be, but they cuddle and come and hug and argue and do all the things that teenagers do.
Probably his gentle spirit. Bill is the type of man that wakes up in the morning happy and goes to sleep happy, and it's very important to me. And shares himself. It's been a wonderful addition to our lives.
The gentleness she brings to my life, the stability, and the boys and the family unit. I'm real big on that now. I would just as soon go take them everywhere. Of course, teenagers don't want to be with you as much now. It's funny, now we're married, they'd rather be with their friends. But her gentle spirit, her intelligence, we can talk about everything. It's not always fun. We have strong personalities. We have to mesh that. But the permanence. It's been 4 years now. We can say, remember that year when we did that. And you don't get that in dating. The history, which I like. And the family, or combining our families.
If you're enjoying the Michelle Valentine Show, you will love her new travel TV show, Love, Eat, Travel. Follow Michelle Valentine as she travels the world, showcasing the most beautiful destinations, unique adventures, romantic things to do, delicious foods, and more. Visit www.loveeattravel.tv for more information about her upcoming TV show.